Many women find themselves wondering about their partner's true nature, especially when it comes to relationship dynamics and compatibility. The ability to recognize authentic compatibility goes far beyond surface level conversations and requires developing keen observation skills and emotional intelligence. When you're dating, you're essentially gathering information about whether someone aligns with your values, desires, and relationship style. This process becomes particularly important when you're seeking specific dynamics in your relationships. The challenge lies in the fact that many people, regardless of gender, aren't always immediately open about their deeper preferences and desires. Understanding why people might be hesitant to share their authentic selves is crucial. Society often places expectations and judgments on how we should behave in relationships, leading many to hide their true preferences out of fear of rejection or misunderstanding. This protective mechanism, while understandable, can create barriers to forming genuine connections. The key to recognizing authentic compatibility lies in creating an environment where both parties feel safe to express themselves. This doesn't mean pressuring someone to reveal everything immediately, but rather demonstrating through your own openness and non-judgmental attitude that you're someone who can be trusted with vulnerable information. Developing your intuition about people requires paying attention to subtle cues and patterns of behavior. Notice how someone treats service workers, how they respond to your preferences, and whether they show genuine interest in your comfort and happiness. These small indicators often reveal more about someone's character than grand gestures or carefully crafted words. Remember that authentic compatibility cannot be forced or manufactured. If someone isn't naturally inclined toward the type of relationship dynamic you desire, no amount of testing or conditioning will create lasting fulfillment for either of you. The goal is to identify those who naturally align with your vision of an ideal partnership, not to change someone into what you want them to be. One of the most powerful skills you can develop in dating and relationships is the ability to create psychological safety for others. When people feel genuinely safe and unjudged, they naturally begin to reveal their authentic selves, including aspects of their personality they might typically keep hidden. Creating this safe space begins with your own self-disclosure and vulnerability. When you share your own interests, values, and even unconventional aspects of your personality, you signal to others that you're someone who embraces authenticity rather than judging it. This doesn't mean oversharing on a first date, but rather being genuine about who you are and what matters to you. The way you respond to others' revelations sets the tone for how much they'll trust you with their deeper truths. If someone shares something vulnerable with you, your reaction in that moment determines whether they'll continue opening up or retreat back into their protective shell. Respond with curiosity rather than judgment, and ask thoughtful questions that show you're genuinely interested in understanding their perspective. Pay attention to how you present yourself and your interests. If you approach your own preferences with shame or defensiveness, others will pick up on that energy and may feel unsafe sharing their own vulnerable truths. Confidence in your own authenticity gives others permission to be authentic as well. Understanding that everyone has different comfort levels with disclosure is important. Some people are naturally more open, while others need time to build trust before sharing personal details. Respect these differences rather than pushing for information before someone is ready to share. The goal isn't to extract information from people, but to create an environment where truth naturally emerges. When someone feels truly seen and accepted for who they are, they often surprise themselves with how much they want to share. This organic unfolding of authenticity creates the foundation for deeply satisfying relationships. Remember that creating safe spaces is a skill that benefits every area of your life, not just dating. When you become known as someone who can hold space for others' authentic selves, you attract people who are comfortable with honesty and vulnerability. Becoming skilled at reading people requires developing your ability to notice subtle cues and patterns that reveal character and preferences. This isn't about manipulation or playing games, but rather about becoming more attuned to the wealth of information people naturally communicate through their actions and reactions. Start by observing how someone treats people in service positions. The way a person interacts with waitstaff, delivery drivers, or cashiers often reveals their true character more accurately than how they treat you during the honeymoon phase of dating. Look for patterns of respect, patience, and consideration in these interactions. Notice their responses to your preferences and requests. When you express a desire or need, do they respond with enthusiasm to help, indifference, or irritation? These reactions provide valuable insight into their natural inclinations and whether they find joy in pleasing others or view it as a burden. Pay attention to their body language and energy shifts during different topics of conversation. Some people light up when discussing certain subjects, while others become withdrawn or uncomfortable. These energy changes often indicate areas of strong interest or sensitivity that they might not verbally acknowledge. Observe their decision-making patterns. Do they naturally look to you for input on choices, or do they make unilateral decisions? Do they check in about your comfort level in various situations? These behaviors reveal their natural approach to partnership and consideration for others. Notice how they handle stress, disappointment, or unexpected changes. Someone's true character often emerges more clearly during challenging moments than during smooth, pleasant interactions. Look for resilience, adaptability, and how they treat others when things don't go according to plan. Watch for consistency between their words and actions. People can say anything, but their behavior patterns over time reveal their true priorities and values. Someone who claims to value partnership, but consistently acts selfishly, is showing you their real priorities. Developing these observation skills takes practice and patience with yourself. Start small, notice one or two things during each interaction, and gradually expand your awareness as these skills become more natural. Having standards and boundaries isn't about being demanding or difficult. It's about knowing your worth and what you need to feel fulfilled in a relationship. The art lies in discovering whether someone naturally aligns with your standards without resorting to manipulative tactics or game playing. Understanding the difference between testing and manipulation is crucial. Healthy testing involves creating natural opportunities to observe someone's character and responses, while manipulation involves trying to force specific behaviors through pressure or deception. Your goal should be to discover who someone truly is, not to train them to act differently. Consider what truly matters to you in a partnership. Is it someone who naturally thinks of your comfort? Someone who takes initiative in caring for you? Someone who shows respect for your time and energy? Once you're clear on your priorities, you can notice whether these qualities emerge naturally in your interactions. Create opportunities for these qualities to show themselves organically. This might mean mentioning that you're cold and seeing if they offer their jacket, or expressing interest in trying something new and observing whether they take initiative to make it happen. These aren't tests with right or wrong answers, but opportunities to see their natural responses. Maintain your standards while remaining gracious and appreciative. If someone does something thoughtful, acknowledge it genuinely. If they don't meet your standards, you don't need to punish or correct them. Simply gather that information and decide whether it aligns with what you're seeking. Remember that having standards protects both you and potential partners from incompatible relationships. When you're clear about what you need and seek partners who naturally provide it, you create the foundation for mutual satisfaction and fulfillment. Be prepared to walk away from situations that don't meet your standards, regardless of other positive qualities someone might have. Compromising on your core needs rarely leads to long-term happiness and often breeds resentment over time. Your standards should feel empowering, not exhausting. If you find yourself constantly disappointed or trying to convince someone to treat you better, it's likely a sign that you're not with the right person, rather than a reflection of unrealistic expectations. While observation and intuition are valuable tools, direct communication remains the foundation of healthy relationships. Building confidence in expressing your needs, desires, and boundaries clearly creates the framework for authentic connection and mutual understanding. Many people, especially women, are socialized to be indirect about their needs, or to hint rather than ask directly. Overcoming this conditioning requires practice and the understanding that clear communication is a gift to both yourself and your partner. When you communicate directly, you eliminate guesswork and create opportunities for genuine compatibility to emerge. Start by getting comfortable with expressing preferences about simple, low-stakes situations. Practice saying things like, "I'd prefer to sit by the window," or "I'm really interested in trying that new restaurant," without apologizing or minimizing your desires. These small acts of direct communication build your confidence for more significant conversations. Understand that asking for what you want isn't demanding or selfish. It's providing valuable information that helps potential partners understand how to make you happy. Someone who is truly compatible with you will appreciate this clarity rather than feeling burdened by it. Learn to distinguish between someone who genuinely doesn't align with your preferences and someone who simply didn't understand what you needed. Direct communication helps clarify these differences and prevents unnecessary confusion or disappointment. Practice expressing your boundaries with kindness, but firmness. You can be direct without being harsh and clear without being apologetic. Phrases like, "I'm not comfortable with that," or "That doesn't work for me," communicate your position while leaving room for respectful dialogue. Remember that someone's response to your direct communication tells you everything you need to know about their character and compatibility. Partners who are right for you will generally respond positively to your honesty and appreciate knowing how to please you. Building this confidence takes time and practice. Start with low-stakes situations and gradually work up to more vulnerable communications. Each successful interaction builds your confidence for the next one, creating a positive cycle of authentic expression. Ultimately, the goal of developing these skills isn't just to identify compatible partners, but to step fully into your power as someone who deserves and can create deeply fulfilling relationships. This means embracing your right to have preferences, standards, and desires without apology or justification. Recognize that your happiness and fulfillment in relationships isn't a luxury or an afterthought. It's essential. When you're fulfilled and satisfied, you bring your best self to the relationship, creating a positive cycle that benefits everyone involved. Prioritizing your needs isn't selfish, it's strategic. Understand that not everyone will be compatible with you, and that's perfectly fine. Rather than seeing this as rejection or failure, view it as efficient filtering that saves everyone time and emotional energy. The right people for you will appreciate your authenticity and standards. Embrace the reality that you have the power to shape your relationship experiences through your choices, standards, and communication. You're not a passive recipient of whatever treatment someone decides to give you. You're an active participant who can influence the dynamic through your own behavior and choices. Trust your instincts and observations. If something feels off or incompatible, honor that feeling rather than trying to rationalize it away. Your intuition is often picking up on subtle cues that your conscious mind hasn't fully processed yet. Remember that healthy relationships should enhance your life, not drain your energy or require you to compromise your fundamental needs. If you find yourself constantly managing someone else's emotions, making excuses for their behavior, or feeling like you need to earn their consideration, these are signs that the dynamic isn't serving you. Celebrate your growth and increasing self-awareness. Each relationship experience, whether successful or not, teaches you more about yourself and what you need to thrive. This knowledge is invaluable and helps you make better choices going forward. Finally, maintain your individual identity and interests, regardless of your relationship status. When you have a full, satisfying life on your own, you're more likely to attract partners who add value, rather than those who need you to complete them. Your completeness is attractive and sets the foundation for healthy interdependence, rather than unhealthy codependence.